Have you ever dreamed of being debt free? When it comes to eliminating debt, it is one of the absolute fastest way to build wealth. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down some strategies to absolutely get this done. Now, the first thing you have to do is getting control of unnecessary expenses. This could be cutting anywhere that you don't need anything. Small adjustments could be dining out less, could be making your own food, could be canceling a lot of subscriptions that we know are kind of looming out there. This is going to give you the tool that you need to free up extra cash to allocate it towards debt repayment. So not only are you kind of doing a double-edged sword where one, you're cutting down on your expenses, with the money that you're saving, you are eliminating and paying down that debt. Now, another one is lower interest rates. When we think about this, you got to think bigger picture. You can negotiate with credit card companies. If they don't want to work with you, 0% offers are out there, debt consolidations out there. You can make a lot of negotiations. It just takes a little bit of willpower, and you can also pay it on your own. Now, we've seen a couple companies that will kind of refinance, will pay debt on your behalf. A lot of times they do come with a charge. If you do this and really invest into those companies, it can be very detrimental for one, your credit score, two, for the ability to actually repay. Now, when we start looking at lower interest rates, this is what is going to be a big saver when it comes to time. The balance is going to go down much faster, the principal balance, because you're paying less interest. This is the reason why consolidations are really worth it if you do not acquire new debt. That is the only way. And simply put, it is literally the only way that debt consolidation works is if you do not acquire new debt. If you acquire new debt, now you have a consolidation loan, which is going to eat up some of that monthly payment, but you also do have credit cards on top of that, which you use the consolidation loan to get rid of. Now, if you're like me, and if you tried this method, embracing the envelope system. Now, this is something probably 20, 30 years ago that was huge, using cash. And once the cash is gone, guess what? You can't buy anything else. You can't continue to swipe that debit card or swipe that credit card and just have kind of an endless supply of money. This really creates two different things. Number one, the accountability when it comes to cash. And number two, the ability to budget. If you find that a regular envelope system is running out of money on a regular basis, let's say it's food, let's say it's excessive expense, let's say it's subscriptions. If you are running out of money on a specific envelope, you know that is the place that either you need to allocate some more funds in there, or you need to cut back in the entirety. Now, when you start thinking about overspending, this eliminates the ability for impulse spending and overspending because, like I said, when you're out of money in its entirety, you do not have the ability. Now, when we start thinking of debt in general, high interest debt is where you want to pay it off. This is bad debt. This is credit cards. When we look at credit cards, they are absolutely the biggest wealth stealer that we see in America because we're buying all of the stuff regardless of tariffs. We're buying things we don't need and buying it in a major way. I believe the credit card debt in totality right now is around $1.14 trillion in credit card debt, which is kind of crazy. That is only credit card debt. That is only high interest debt that it's sitting on, which is crazy. It is going to really focus in building and paying down the high interest debt is going to give you the most for your dollar. When you think about a one single dollar bill, if you're putting, towards something that is 2.5% versus something that is 20%, you are essentially spending more money or not saving as much or saving more in that manner when you're putting it towards something that has a very high interest rate, not only lowering that monthly payment, which I don't want you to worry about. I want you to make over the payment every single time and really doing this consecutively and consistently. Now, when we start thinking about the flip side of it, savings, the smartest combination that you can really do to eliminate debt is automating savings, having the ability to save money, having the ability to build up that emergency fund. That's the reason why Dave Ramsey does baby step number one, save $1,000. Even though it is not a tried and true emergency fund, it is still the basis from keeping you from accumulating new debt. If you do not have that emergency fund, if you don't have that $1,000 set aside, as soon as an emergency happens, and trust me, there is going to be a point in your life where an emergency does happen, you are going to have to borrow money again on credit cards, which puts you right back into that cycle. Now, with the elimination of debt, he also recommends the snowball payment method. So the way the snowball works, or the snowball debt repayment method, is looking at your smallest to your largest, and you are going to focus every single dollar right into that smallest one, meaning it is going to be eliminated the first one. Really psychologically looking at the ability and the impact of wiping this out. That is where this method comes in. Mathematically, it is not the most potent, it is not the fastest, but when you start seeing one of your debts being eliminated, it is contagious. You will start wanting to build it in faster, taking that debt from that very first one, or that payment from the first one, moving it to the next one and the next one and the next one, systematically until your debt is wiped out in its entirety. It really makes the debt repayment journey a lot more feasible, and a lot more, you can feel the impact of it when it comes to paying it off. And of course, think of windfalls. We're looking at tax returns, we're looking at bonuses, we're looking at commission checks. When you want to eliminate debt, this is a golden opportunity. Anywhere that you have excess funds that can put a significant dent into that debt that you have, it is going to make a huge difference. Resist the urge to splurge, resist the urge to upgrade, resist the urge to keep up with the Joneses. Pay down those balances first, and trust me, in time, it's going to make a big difference. Now, the other side of debt is increasing your income. When we start looking at taking on a side job, doing a side hustle, such as what I'm doing right here on YouTube. And if you like the content that I'm putting out, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. But you could also sell used items, providing any extra funds. Every single dollar that I make within YouTube, everything that I get in AdSense, goes right into an investment account. I don't use it to splurge. I want the debt-free journey. I want the debt-free life. We have one and only one debt left, which is our mortgage, slowly working it down as I continue to invest. And at the point of 50 years old, I am paying it off in the entirety. Already have the game plan, already have the runway, already know what you're doing. And to do this, I have built a budget. I am sticking to my budget. Creating and sticking to a budget is crucial to financial education and management, knowing where your money is going. The majority of people that I do financial counseling for have no idea. They have no clue where their money is going. They get the money, they pay whatever they need to, and then they wonder at the end of the month, where did all my money go? What did I spend it on? Where exactly is it? It creates an accountability piece for yourself, knowing where your money is going. Because the other side of it is you earn your income, you know what you paid. At the end of the month, you have some excess or some surplus that is going towards the debt repayment, that is going towards those investment accounts, making it really beneficial. Again, thinking of the long term. And if you are an impulse buyer, if you are a shopper, try paying with cash. Honestly, this is a psychological experiment. Take $100, $200, $300 out of the bank. When you go to buy, let's say, groceries at Kroger, Myers, wherever you're shopping, try using cash instead. See what it feels like giving away that money to a cashier to get a little bit of change back. It is a very easy way to control spending, because guess what? When the cash is gone, that's it. You're done. It really makes a difference when you're focusing on debt reduction and repayment, because with this method, if you do have any cash left over, if you're scrimping, if you're saving, if you're budgeting, a lot of people also pick up a lot of frugal habits, such as, bargain shopping, looking for values, using coupons, rewards programs, whatever it is to save a little bit of money, essentially gives you the ability to keep some of that cash in your pocket, which is exactly what we're looking for. And also with this, setting very specific goals. I always use SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, actionable, R, which is results, and then T, which is timely. Had to remember that one. I write it down all the time, but making something and putting it in place. You should have specific financial goals. You might have goals to go to the gym. It's a new year. You want to work out, whatever they are. You have to have concrete goals that are written down when it comes to finance, both short-term and long-term, knowing exactly the plan. It will keep you focused. It will keep you motivated, working towards those goals. And of course, tracking the progression. You want to put in some built-in milestones where, let's say in the next 3 years, you want to save $30,000. You want a down payment for a house. Put in a milestone every $10,000. Hey, when your bank account hits that magical number, celebrate. Don't go out, don't go crazy, don't spend a ton of money, but you have to recognize exactly what you're working for and what the goal looks. And if all else fails with the debt repayment strategies, come and talk to me as a financial counselor, seeking professional advice and knowing people that do this for a living. Me personally, the advice that I offer here on YouTube is free. Even the financial institution I work at, the financial counseling is free as well. So definitely drop some comments down below if you got some questions or you need some help. But that is going to do it for today's video. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video.